until we started talking again on Monday. The only thing we have done is basically say that every corporation of $1 billion of value or greater in America should pay at least 15% a minimum corporate tax. Many people in West Virginia couldn't believe that corporations aren't paying anything, and some of the largest in the country. And with that being said, the rate was at 35% in 2017 when my Republican friends took it to 21. We thought it should stop at 25. It went to 21, a 14% savings. You would at least think that they would be paying at least 15%. Most businesses and all corporations that I know of pay 21%. So that's not a tax increase, it's closing a loophole.
Well, I understand that, but one person's loophole is another person whose tax bill increased. And, you know, the folks over at the National Association of Manufacturers, and look, they're not going to like anything that increases their tax bill. I understand that.
Sure.
But here's their main argument. They say by doing this, you threaten to stifle the very innovation this bill is supposed to spur, because if you create that tax penalty and you don't get the credit for investments, then all of a sudden you don't see that. They'll make the decision not to invest. Do you buy that argument?
I don't, because I'll tell you why. The last 2 years have been massive record profits. Massive record profits. And with that being said, it's been the lowest investment of capital expenditure that we've ever had. So it's not the taxes that's driving this. What's driving people sitting on their money right now is a lack of confidence that we can't get our act together in Congress or government. And they don't have a confidence there. So what we have done is we have total permitting reform. That's the thing everyone has told me. When I've asked them, point blank, they said, if you can just take the leashes off, take the chains off of us, let us go and do it. So we're going to basically reform our permitting so we're able to get these projects completed that are needed now.
I know that was the promise you got, and it's one of those where you were promised a bill later. You support reconciliation now, you're going to get permitting reform later. Why did you not insist on permitting reform first before you gave them your vote for reconciliation?
We would have done permitting reform in this bill, but basically because...
Check your mail, tax rebates and stimulus payment may look like junk. Welcome to Updates Area YouTube channel. People have been throwing away free money this year. Though it's not necessarily their fault, residents in California have accidentally tossed out their $1,050 middle class tax refund tax, the biggest in the state history, as a GoBankingRates.com reported in early December, and in a Houston News citation KHOU noted that many taxes had also mistakenly discarded their $600 stimulus payments. It's also happened in Virginia, reports the newsletter, and people in those states are not alone. In all cases, residents have said they assumed the delivery was junk mail or a scam and put the envelope right into the trash, or shuddered there rather than being duped and wasting their time on possible fraudsters. As NBC News has reported, part of the issue is that many of these checks are not checks at all, but rather prepaid debit cards, and they're enclosed in the envelopes that look very similar to junk mail. Not to mention, the FTC has warned consumers about refund and recovery scams that have people on guard. Sometimes the mail may have random return address, usually to a post office box, and the plain white envelope has no federal insignia that would make it look like official documents that you would want to pay attention to. It's not just state payments either, says NBC News, as the IRS has also turned to a similar system of mail. The Washington Post has noted that the government pivoted to debit cards initially during the pandemic in order to speed up payment delivery, as the people needed the money for essential as many were trapped or finances due to the job loss. There also some security in sending mail this way. If it doesn't look like a check, it's less likely to be apprehended by thieves who have gotten very savvy at check washing and stealing funds intended for the other people. As a GoBankingRates.com has reported that thankfully states and the government have call lines if you accidentally dispose or shared your stimulus payment assuming it was junk mail, but the issue does not stop there as there are other kinds of checks or refunds that may come your way that could also look non-scripted and end up in the trash. Here is what to look out for and double check before tossing, including state stimulus checks, as many US states are still planning to send out some in 2023. According to the NBC, 8.2 million Americans may get a rebate from their health insurance provided soon. Amounts vary up to $155 for those with coverage through small employer plans, $78 for large group plans, and $141 for those with ACA plans. Requirement that this is because the government has a requirement that insurers spend at least 80% of premiums on the health care cost and reimburse policyholders for the difference if they do not meet that threshold. Car insurance refund checks. Earlier this year, residents in Michigan were awarded $400 in car insurance refund payments due to surplus in profits recorded by the state insurance agencies. But Midwesterns are not the only ones who need to look out for checks from the auto and even life insurance companies. If you happen to cancel or change policies, your former provider may send a check for any amount that was paid in advance that was necessary cover you through the termination date. You might not get a notice this payment is coming, so it's best to double check anything from your insurance company. So that was the today's update, and I hope you liked the video. Please leave a like and also hit the subscribe button. I will see you next one. Bye bye.